But yeah, so hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm like, okay, so honestly, I just filmed like my intro video, but then I got inspired again, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna film another video. Honestly, I fell asleep, I'm not gonna, and I was debating doing this one just because like it's something that I'm still kind of going through. It's something that I relate to on a different level. It's just my life, I feel, right now. But and also like I don't want to send off like a bad like vibe or like a bad like message from what I'm about to talk about, but I mean like it's something that everyone goes through. It's something that is a part of life, and I'm pretty sure like everyone can relate to, or almost everyone can relate to. And um, my channel is going to be about me. It's going to be talking about my life and my experiences. I may not go into 100% detail, but I do want to talk about it and my thoughts on it, and there's nothing wrong with that. And yeah, but the topic is going to be heartbreak, and breakups, and broken hearts. And that's kind of a sad topic to talk about, I realize, but my goal is to help you guys see that, well, we'll get into that when I start talking about it. But a little disclaimer, this is in no way subbing anyone, bashing anyone, or I don't know, like I'm not attention seeking. I'm not looking to get someone's attention or whatever. It's really just something that I was feeling, and I make decisions based off of emotion a lot of time, I won't lie to you. And right now I'm feeling kind of okay and kind of like clear headed, and I just want to talk about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But once again, this is not aimed at anyone, it's not bashing anyone. I highly doubt this person is even going to see this video. If they do see it, that's not on my own accord. Someone else probably showed it to that person. Either way, I'm not saying anything negative, so don't get offended. Whoever, any of my exes, don't get offended, like whatever. But yeah, so heartbreak is an interesting aspect of life. It's an experience that I'm pretty sure we all go through. Whether we like to admit it or not, we've been heartbroken, we've let someone in, and we've been hurt. Sometimes we feel like we've been hurt beyond repair. Sometimes the pain is just manageable. Sometimes it completely affects your look on love and life and relationships and the way you treat others, and it's a very impactful event that occurs in our lives. Like that's like the best way for me to explain it, because for me, for a fact, heartbreak has definitely impacted me in so many ways, whether it be negative or positive. In both ways it has, and it's just something that is so hard to like talk about, I feel, because it's like even though we've all been through it and it's like so common and it's so normal, and like even when you're going through it, it feels like it's the end of the fucking world. It really isn't, but it's hard to talk about, well, for me personally, because I'm still kind of going through it. I did just get out of a kind of my longest relationship, and I was very invested in that person. So and that relationship, so like for me to talk about it, it's a little touchy, but I'm in a good spot right now, so I felt like I should just do it. But yeah, love is complicated, and it's not always what you expect it to be. It's literally the opposite of what you expect it to be, but at the same time it's like so beautiful. It's something so fucking beautiful, and literally every aspect of it, whether it be like constantly like fighting and like yelling at each other, but then like forgiving each other at the end of the day because you care about that person so much and you don't want to lose them, or whether it be like the first time like you kiss, or like the first time you say I love you, or the first time that person looks at you like you're the most important person in the world. Like there are all these beautiful moments that you find when you're in love, and love is so beautiful because it makes you like, there's this quote and I don't remember who said it, but it's something along the lines of like, love is learning to see an imperfect person perfectly. And I think that's so true. Like, I guess something I can say from my most recent relationship was that I feel like that was probably like true love between us. At least for me, I really, really did love that person, and I felt like that was like very like real, like genuine, like raw love. Like I really, that was one of the best relationships that I've been in. I can probably say that. So far, that was the best relationship I've been in, because I felt like the love we had for each other was unconditional, I felt like. And we worked hard at it, and alright, this is the hard part. I'm not gonna put like my, not, I don't want to say that like my business, but like I'm not gonna put our relationship and the total reason we ended on blast, because I do have respect for that person. Like even if I were to be like, this is what happened, like it wouldn't, I mean it wouldn't, I don't think it'd be really disrespectful to that person, but like I personally like feel like I don't know if that person would want me to do that, and you know, it's still like his business too, it's not just mine. So I'm just gonna summarize it a little bit and get back to like the topic, but I'm just telling you guys how it relates to me, and like how, like what I'm thinking about it. And yeah, so okay, basically what happened was things began to change. There were just a lot of changes. There were a lot of changes going on. I'm getting anxious. I'm getting fucking anxious. Okay, there were just a lot of changes occurring in both of our lives. And it heavily impacted our relationship. Whether we like to admit it or not, it's something that I've recognized. I personally am not great with change. I have a track record of becoming very depressed when change occurs, because I have anxiety, and anxiety is like this feeling where it's like you just have like kind of like a fear of everything, like an irrational fear of like something going wrong, or like whatever. For me it's like a fear of the future, a fear of change. When I'm comfortable with something, when I'm comfortable with something and I'm like, that environment like shifts or whatever, it takes me a minute to like rearrange my whole like mindset and like schedule or whatever like around it. It takes me a minute to like get used to it. Like, so initially I'm like kind of like literally like I go like like this change is just, I don't, it's just something that like I'm working on embracing, because I know that there will be multiple changes throughout my life. I know that I'm gonna have to deal with change almost every day, and it's something I have to face and deal with and suck up and just do it. But whatever, when it came to this change, it took me way off fucking guard. I did have fears about this change, and you know, obviously before then I was reassured that everything would be fine, and you know, you want to believe that, and you do believe that, because I didn't have any doubts. I didn't have a reason to not believe that. Once again, he was great, amazing. The relationship was really great. It's just like there were so many changes that like it's kind of like we lost sight of us. And another major factor was that we were both dealing with things, and different stressful things were going on in our lives, and we didn't really know how to cope with that and like also have a relationship, I guess. And it was really hard. It was really hard. And like, I won't lie, things when towards the end of a relationship, things become a little toxic. I feel like that happens in almost every relationship, where maybe you're fighting a bit more, or saying harsh things, or not really being considerate of the other person's feelings, or being irrational, or things like that. And that began to happen, and it was so weird, and we didn't know. Like, I don't know, I didn't understand. Like, even to this day, like, even though I know the reason now, it's like there's still something in the back of my mind that's like curious, like what, like, because it's just so hard to grasp. But I just think it really had to do with change, and like, we're both so young, and we're still growing up, and we're still learning about ourselves, and learning about our preferences, and learning about our wants and our needs. And the sucky thing about that in relationships is that sometimes you start off wanting one thing, and then like later on, maybe that's not really what you wanted, or maybe life is just like, this is not the time for that, or maybe the way you see that person, or the feelings you have for that person, aren't as strong as before, because maybe you've been with them for super long, or maybe like new experiences arise and you want to do those things individually, like things you can't really do when you're in a relationship, or you can do but it would cause a lot of tension and friction. And it was just things like that. And I'm pretty sure, like, those of you that know me or him, like, you have an idea of what I'm talking about. And it was killing me. It was really killing me. Seeing the person you love with someone else is probably the hardest thing ever. And being in love with someone that maybe doesn't really feel the same way anymore is probably the hardest thing ever. So I was heartbroken. And it's so weird because like the next day or two after that, like, I went out with friends, and I told myself, like, I'm not gonna let this like get to me like that. Like, I'm not gonna be depressed, because my first relationship, like my first love, like after we broke up, I was like still in love with him for like 4 years. I was so sad over him. I was so in love, and like I was really depressed. I was not happy with my life because I felt like I needed him to be happy. And I know I don't need anyone to be happy. I know I don't need a guy to be happy, but like, obviously in that moment you feel like I need this person. So, but I told myself, no, I'm just gonna deal with my shit, whatever. I'm gonna keep doing my shit in school, like focusing on school and friends and whatever. And I was doing that. And for like the first 2 weeks, I was good. Like, I felt like I was on a high. I was like, I don't even care. Like, whatever. Like, I'm chill. I'm great. I'm fine. I wasn't like bothered. I went to bed at normal times. I woke up at normal times. I woke up and I was like, hey, I'm gonna have a good ass day. I started slaying my makeup even more, like putting more effort into my appearance again. Like, I was feeling really fucking good. Like, I was like, fuck that. Like, you know, like one of those things, like I'm a boss ass bitch kind of. Yeah, okay, wait for it. So I ended up crashing, and I don't know, I would say it was about a week ago, and then recently this past week, yeah. There was a morning when I woke up, and I just started sobbing. Nothing triggered it. Like, I didn't have a dream. I didn't see a post because I didn't see a post or anything. I started crying because I think that deep down inside, subconsciously, like, that was always on my mind, and I just kept pushing it to the back because I didn't want to deal with it. I couldn't. Like, honest to God, I felt so broken. Like, I felt so broken. Like, not like brokenhearted. Like, I felt like my spirit, like me as a person, I felt so vulnerable and so broken and so just so sad. Like that day was the worst day, I would say, because I went to school, and like throughout all of my classes, like I would get watery eyed. Like, my teacher would be right in front of me like teaching, and my eyes would start to get watery and I'd have to go to the bathroom. Like I would go to the bathroom and just cry like after each class. Like I was so sad. Like I would go up to my friends like, hey, like try to be like happy, like play it off, you know, like chill, but don't your friends know you, so it's like kind of like bitch. But like they'd be like, hey, what's up, and like how are you, like are you okay? And you know, you just start like crying. One of those things. Because it's just like, you know, you have moments where you're really gonna miss that person. You have moments where you're gonna reflect and you're gonna think about your memories, and you're gonna have moments like that. And that's the thing, like breakups and heartbreak, it's just really a roller coaster of emotions. Like some days you're gonna feel like you're at your peak, like you don't need anyone, like you are chilling, like you probably might even start talking to someone like just to make yourself like, it'll make you feel good, like you're to prove something to yourself, like I'm over this person. And then other days you're gonna just want to lay in bed and watch Netflix and cry into your pillow and watch sappy love stories and think, God, I wish I had that, or God, I had that and I ruined it. Like you know, I had a lot of self-doubt. I thought that a lot of the reason we broke up was because of me, and I started thinking that I wasn't good enough, and I started thinking that like I ruined this for myself and this was the best thing that ever happened to me, and all this bullshit. Like dead ass, it's fucking bullshit. Like you're gonna have moments like that. I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna have moments where you think it's your fault, you're gonna have moments where you hate yourself, or like moments where you're just like, oh my god, I ruined this for myself, or like you're gonna have moments where you have self-doubt and think like I wasn't good enough, I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't like interesting enough, like why else would someone like fall out of love with me, or why else would someone like leave me. Like that's not like the case though. Like there's nothing wrong with you. It's just that sometimes things don't work out, and it took me a while to figure that out. Like it's like I always knew that deep inside, but it's like when you're so like heartbroken, and if you were broken the way I was, like I was so impressionable, and like I just felt like I wasn't good enough, and I was like, maybe I'm just not good enough for him and he wants someone better. But like even though I thought things like that, like I have such amazing friends, and like they would always remind me like that's not the case. Like they're like literally one of my best friends, she goes, you're gonna have days where you're gonna feel like shit, you're gonna have days where you miss him like fucking crazy, but that's how it is. And it's better that you found out what you found out, or things didn't work out now, because say you had invested like 5 years into that person and this happened, you'd be even more like destroyed than you are now. And like I really like took that into consideration. Like that's so true. Like if I was like 5 years invested, like God knows how like hard like this would have hit me, you know what I mean? Sometimes things just don't work out, and that's like the best way I can put it. As much as you want them to, as much as you love that person, like I was so in love, I won't lie. I was so head over heels, like madly in love with someone, and you know, I had to grasp that that person wasn't happy with me anymore, and I had to grasp that there's a possibility that that person probably didn't care enough anymore, and you know, things just weren't working out. But as much as you want things to work out, sometimes they just don't, and that's like the hard truth that you have to tell yourself. Because trust me, I'm a hopeless romantic. As much as I hate to admit it, I love the idea of being in love, I love being in relationships, I love experiencing being with people that I love holding hands and kissing and having intimate experiences with people, like whether it be like talking about shit that we've been through, or like having a heart to heart, or just like confessing how much you care about that person, like your biggest fears. Like I just love relationships. sometimes like things just don't work out and people walk in and out of your life, and that's something that you're gonna have to get used to as much as you don't want to. And that's the hardest thing, I would say, as well. But what I've been doing is just spending time with my friends, spending time with myself, and focusing a lot more on myself, because I did invest a lot into another person, because I was so focused on that person like being happy that like I was willing to sacrifice my own happiness for that person. And you can't do that. Like, you always have to put yourself first. It comes down to that first, to that loving yourself thing. You just have to put yourself first a lot, and that's something that I didn't really understand, because yes, I loved myself, but I valued his happiness so much more than mine, because just seeing a smile on that person's face like would make me like I just wanted him to be happy, and like I was thinking about myself. And now being alone, not alone, but being single, you have more time to do that. You have more time to just focus on yourself and like do what's best for you and make your own decisions, and not have to worry about whether you're gonna hurt someone's feelings or be inconsiderate. Like, you have the freedom to do whatever you really want. And yeah, and it's a beautiful thing. It really is. And just spend time with your friends, spend time with yourself, give yourself time to heal. Because for me, I like literally, the reason I crashed, I feel, is because I was rushing the healing process. Like, I was rushing. I just wanted to be over. I wanted it to be done with. I was tired of crying. I was tired of staying up all night and like just crying. I was tired of not being able to sleep. I was tired of being depressed during the day. Like, I was tired of, I just didn't want to feel anything anymore. And I just wanted to be okay. I just wanted to be happy already. I wanted to act like it didn't happen, but that's not how it is. When you get into relationships, like, it's like you're signing yourself up for like the possibility that you're gonna get hurt in the end. The possibility. I'm not saying it always happens. There's the possibility. You also have to take into consideration that no one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. You can't put someone up on a pedestal as amazing as you think that person is, or amazing as they are. Like, they're still a person. They're still capable of making mistakes, and they're still capable of hurting you. And you have to be realistic with that when you do go into relationships. And you also have to acknowledge that when you're out of one, and acknowledge that just because that person hurt me does not mean they're a terrible person. It does not mean they're an asshole or like whatever. It just means like in that moment, you know, that's just how it was, and things happen for a reason, and maybe God took them out of your life for a reason, or maybe it just wasn't meant to be. Maybe it's terrible timing, or I feel like people, they're either lessons or blessings. And like, for me, I considered this relationship and this person both, because I did gain a lot from that relationship. I did also lose something too, but all in all, like, you just kind of have to like roll with the punches. And like, when you're crying on your floor at 2 in the morning, call your best friend, please. When you're laying in bed and your pillow is soaked, take a second when you're breathing to be like, I'm gonna be okay. That's another thing. That's the major thing I do. If I ever wake up, because some mornings I still wake up and I'm still kind of in shock, like I can't believe it really happened, I get this feeling of anxiety, and I take the biggest breath, and I'm like, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna have a good day. I'm gonna take it one step at a time. And I go and shower, brush my teeth, start doing my makeup, get dressed, try to get all pretty, like distract myself. Look at the assignments I have to do, like things I need to do, like I want to clean my room, I want to this, that, and the third. Like, occupy yourself. Breathe and tell yourself it's going to be okay. And you're going to have a lot of moments where your mind wanders when you're in class, and maybe you start thinking about that person, and that's completely normal. It doesn't mean you're crazy, it doesn't mean you're obsessed, it just means, fuck, you got your heart broken. It's going to take time to heal. Like, with all wounds, it takes time to heal. It takes a long time for some people. Sometimes it takes a lot shorter. I think it depends on the relationship, how you felt about the person, what happened in the relationship, and all of that. But you just have to let yourself heal and like don't rush it, because this didn't happen that long ago, and some days I feel like it happened like a year ago, and some days I feel like it happened just yesterday. And that's the thing, like heartbreak is a roller coaster of emotions, but I promise you will get through it. Like, take it from me, someone that was like in love with someone else for like 4 years, like so depressed, like feeling like I wasn't gonna find anyone else, thinking I wasn't good enough for someone. And then I ended up in a really amazing relationship with someone that made me feel like, that basically showed me like how amazing I am, and kind of guided me in like becoming the person that I am today. And even though like it didn't work out, like here I am. Like, yes, I still have moments where I'm like, maybe like I'm not good enough, and like, but everyone has moments like that. But like, you can't let like a relationship or a person like control you to that point where you think that about yourself. Like, you still have to know, like, you know what, I'm fucking beautiful, like I'm a good ass person, I'm a smart ass person, I'm strong, I'm independent, I'm wonderful, like I'm caring, I'm this, that, like list all the amazing things about yourself and be like, anyone would be lucky to have me. You also have to remind yourself that you don't need someone to be happy. You don't. And that the only one that can really truly make you happy is yourself. You also have to have an awareness that that person may find someone else. But don't think like, oh, he's gonna find someone else and he's gonna forget all about me and blah blah blah. Think, okay, maybe he's gonna find someone else, and fuck. But then you also have to remember, I'm gonna find someone else too. But not out of spite, just because you know, like, life goes on and changes occur and people change and love changes, and you're gonna find someone else. He's not your last, I promise. He or she, they're not your last, I promise. But yeah, so just keep that in mind, okay? They're not your last. And I know, like, it's really hard when you want them to be your last, and you think, that was my person, like, that's the one. If they were really the one. I don't remember really what I was saying, but basically it's all about self-love and doing what's best for you, and just focusing on your life and your goals and what you want to achieve, and not comparing yourself to that person and what they're doing, and staying focused on yourself. And it can be really hard because you really care about that person, but one day, like, all that love and stuff that you gave, and I guess that was kind of lost, will be put into something or someone even greater. And yeah, and you just have to keep telling yourself that. I'm still going through it, so I'm gonna have days where I'm just feeling like shit, and everything I'm saying right now is gonna be thrown out the window. But I'm always gonna come back to this place where I'm like, I'm good, like I'm okay, I'm gonna be okay. Just the thought of knowing that you're going to be okay will suddenly make you feel a little better, because you know that this is like, it's not a never-ending cycle. Like, you're gonna get through it. You're gonna have a day where you wake up and that pain in your chest, it's not gonna be there. You're no longer really gonna care that much, and it's gonna be the best feeling in the world. I promise. So that's just my little tidbit of advice for broken-hearted people going through shit. And also, I'm gonna link below my email. I think I literally just got a pimple from eating this fucking boiled egg. Great. But what was I saying? I'm sorry, I had to. I'm just gonna link below my email. It's a personal email. Not, it's like a person, I guess, whatever. It's my YouTube email. I just created it. I'm lying, I will be creating it after this video goes up. So you guys can email me if you want to talk about anything. Also, you can follow me on my social media. I'm fairly active on there, and I respond to everyone. I get anxiety if I don't respond to people. So yeah, you can always message me there if you want to talk about anything. If you want to like you know, shoot, if you like whatever, like if you guys just want to talk, you need someone to talk to, you need someone to confide in, like I'm down, like just hit me up. But anyway, on that note, I love you. You will be okay. I promise. You got this. You're beautiful, you're strong, you're amazing. You don't need anyone to make you happy but yourself. Focus on yourself. Travel the world. Do super amazing fun shit that you never thought you'd be able to do without that person, and fucking stick it to them. No, I'm kidding. That's so petty. No, I'm saying like just do shit that empowers you and makes you feel amazing. Just being you and doing you and being independent and like chilling, and like before you know it, like you're gonna forget, and before you know it, someone else might come into your life and fuck shit up again, but who knows, right? Anyway, my lovelies, do not give up on love. You'll find someone else, you'll find a love in something else, you'll find a love in yourself. That's the most important thing. Don't give up. Don't give up on that fairy tale. Anyone that tells you about that and tells you to give up on that fairy tale, you can kick them out of your life right now, because they don't deserve you. Anyway, have a wonderful day or night, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and stay tuned for my next videos. Love ya. Bye.